Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero of psych, defender of the fatherland, off here to glorious, amazing, near-magical 1v1 here on Langraskaya. In the north, it is Mirasol fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with the 16th Panzergrenadier Division with Mechanized, featuring command tanks, 250-1 half-tracks, vehicle critical repair, spotting scopes, and the lighter Feldhaubitze 18. In the south, it is Angreifen, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Here with the 7th Guard tank corps with guard motor, defensive, and airborne troops. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons, supporters, wonderful people on the road. Without them and the support of the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to those. Other people can join the ranks by Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. Finding, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing is another way to, help me out a bit there. So, going to the MD42 versus double conscript engineers. We should, of course, see what they end up with. But so far, Mechanized here certainly offers the potential for Mechanized gameplay. That said, for a commander called Mechanized, I always feel like it doesn't feel particularly mechanized. Barbed wire here in the west, around the western point engineers. Lots of barbed wire here. In that case, the particular way he's wiring here is to prevent the opponent from laying down sandbags around here, so they have to put it out here, there, or further away. Either way, making it so they can't just use the point here to hide the sandbags behind, so the Angreifen can actually use them. Bit sneaky there. Heading south for 2 in the MD42. Bit of a steady approach there, but crucially not rushing for the fuel point. Second Grenadier Squad there from Mirasol. Lots of barbed wire from plus sandbags. Yep, wide off the entrances of the building there. Sandbags going up here and there. Looks like the first engagement to happen here around the centre. Third conscript for Angreifen. So far, a fairly standard build. Could indicate gut motor, but could still pull a fast turny, go for defensive or airborne troops. Sandbags here. Good position. Note the way it uses here basically means the opponent can't use the heavy cover. They'll have to use the light cover on the other side. So that's a sneaky way to use the terrain in a manner that benefits you and your sandbagging. More barbed wire here. A lot of preparatory work here, aided by the fact that Mirasol is himself not attacking yet, so Angreifen can definitely use this time to prepare, so when Mirasol does attack, it's going to be tougher. Particularly because the Wehrmacht does have 4-man commandeer squads, which ultimately does mean you need to be really fast about your attacks. You're going to get quick, ground down, as you just can't maintain losses, for longer engagements as easily. Back here, nothing further on there for Angreifen. Lots of sandbags here and there. Barbed wire up as well. Just preparing ahead. Tough time here in Mirasol there. He's clearly just not attacking Eddie. He's probably thinking he's fairly comfortable behind the road here, which covers 2 victory points as well there. So there's obviously a logic to it, but at the same time, it is a dangerous logic to think, get too comfortable with. As again, you don't want allow your opponent too much time to prepare, dig in, at which point you're going to make things tougher for yourself as the Wehrmacht player. That's all the thing to keep in mind. At some point, you're likely to have to end up attacking, at which point you don't want to be attacking into that prepared opponent. We got a massive wall of barbed wire here. Good lord. Numeral mortar here. Definitely one tool to break through this sort of stuff here. Thumbs up to Mirasol. Probably going to have to take up after this. Support and company out for Angreifen. But yeah, very, very quiet in these opening moments of the game here. Very quiet. Not really a lot happening here. Granadenwerfer, they're almost done. Granadenwerfer 43. Down in the east. More barbed wire in the far east for Mirasol. Trying to push in the centre. We can see the Angreifen force ready for that. Machine gun is not quite ready to deal with that. We got the mortar sitting up here. Machine gun is basically here. Move towards us and I managed to respond here. He could try and go for deeper flank here. Though again, we can see the Angreifen is wide off all of these bits. So he's going to have to cut the wire. I have to manage a lot more. Up within the E-74 catching the comfort, they're going out and find down death as well. We got a mortar for Angreifen, likely in response to the German mortar, but could also just be, again, the map here itself and the way the map's battle so far is already going. Having a mortar, of course, is just an incredibly good investment there for Angreifen. There's certainly a few possible, logic points here that could sort of explain this, but either way, though, both sides here within the first 5 minutes of the game have a mortar out. As for Mirasol, having this next to a nose, you could try and add in a 250 half track, try and blitzkrieg here. Angreifen before he's ready for it. Could send them some speed. They could, clear up the barbed wire, open up paths, and just put pressure that Angreifen faster can perhaps react to. In particular, right now in the early game, where it doesn't have any snares, any anti-tank weapons. or anti-tank infantry. So a 250 half-track rush right now could be fairly good here for Mirasol. Yeah, it's going to go for it because most players typically don't bother with it. But, you know, it is what I'd argue in consideration here for him to consider versus Angreifen. Light machines like that for Mirasol's Grenadiers. Ground loss in the point, he will have to retreat. Smoke being deployed here by Angreifen, trying to negate here the MD-42's out of fire. That said, it does negate it for the engineers. Tech done. Like the mechanized company, I imagine, here for him, plus a bunker. As for Angreifen, he remains hesitantly uncommitted there to commander. We'll have to see what his ultimate scheming, but Guard Motor remains, I think, a pretty good guess. A pretty good guess. Like to make a nice company up there for Mirasol. 2-2 on the way. Very much a standard Wehrmacht pick. It is an incredibly efficient light vehicle within the German army. And a well-handled 2-2 can definitely give an opponent a really hard time of it. West side we got coming up there. We got the 2-2 almost done here for Mirasol. Mortify there on the German mortar. Counter push back from the centre. German mortar repositioning in response to the Soviet mortar. 2-2 out here for Mirasol and the German army. The 16th Panzer Grenadier Division Grenadiers squadron up here. 4 kill slots, which were met here by the conscripts. The Grenadiers are quick to retreat here. In part, I imagine, because of the threat of conscripts on the flank there as well. Up north here, Pioneers pushing forwards. More Grenadiers moving in. Armoured covering forces east side here. An attempt to infiltrate on the right flank is quickly stopped here. Apparently, he hadn't paid attention to the barbed wire here. Just sends troops forwards, expecting them to just be able to move freely here. That said, I imagine he's going to realise what's going on and start cutting the wire. Meanwhile, on the west side, Mirasol is yet to really try and push on his opponent field point, which I definitely say he should try. Though obviously he's going to have to cut some wire or crash it with the armoured car. Mortar at it here for Angreifen, but Mirasol's mortar's all sitting back here. Third mortar there in top. We've got the cover cleared out here. Grenadiers with this comes in the centre. West side there. Skirmishing ensues as well here. Angreifen mortar push back with some intense losses there as Mirasol strikes away for the fatherland. Machine they're holding up here. Grenadiers falling back. Troops down there. Healing at least, but they need some more reinforcements. Got tech there for Angreifen. I'm expecting a T-70 here that could surprise with the Issue 6M. Could surprise us. He has done that before. So who knows with Angreifen. That said, still no commander. Keine Kommandant. Which does again beg the question what exactly he is scheming here. What is the battle plan for him to fight the fascist menace in there? Got Pack 40 for Mirasol. Armored coming back when he's swinging around there as well. 3 kills, half 8 to Vet 72. In the far west here, Grenadiers with the country squad there. Back here, trooping force and healing. No sign of tech or anything further. We do get an Issue 6M again here for Angreifen. Also known as the Suchka or Little Bitch because, well, it was a real bitch to handle apparently. That would certainly be a threat here to the armored car. Plus any medium armor Mirasol might get. West side here again. No real major attempt here for Mirasol to change the status quo there. Definitely feel like that's something you should want to do. Harass his opponent's fuel economy there. And similarly, Angreifen's opposite hasn't done much here. Though again, the Great Wall of Wire is certainly making that a bit difficult for him. In this case, more like less Great Wall, more just the Great Strip of Wire. Behold, Jürgens, this strip of wire will secure our entire right flank against any Bolshevik invasion. What about panzers? Shut up, Jürgen! I'll show you panzers. Guard squad out there. We do get Guard Motor again. It is the most picked commander for a reason, unfortunately. Wait, adding the DP light machines to them. Engineers moving up here. Pioneers as well there. Armored cover rolling as well there. Armored coming forwards here. Put some pressure there on Mirasol's left flank and push back his armored car. Cutting wire there, very good. Mission 6 spotted. Pack 40 then moving about, so looking to catch the Soviet assault gun here. South here comes something about there. Firing away at the Grenadiers, wrecking their cover. Got guards calling up here as well. They're making it hard for the armored car to operate. He would rifle it straight through the window. Does no damage. Pack 40 here trying to hit the Issue 6. Misses mostly. Seems does a bit of light damage there. Got a second shot though. is a success. Bunch is cleaning through the assault gun's armor there. Might see another shot there. Really lucky there for Angreifen. Really lucky there. That was definitely pushing his luck there. I mean, had Mirasol been a boat, they could actually push in the armored car to finish off the assault gun there, but I guess he wasn't like willing to commit to the possibility fully that Angreifen had not moved the assault gun there. But I think once he sort of, felt like the second shot go through there, he should just, I think, pushed in with the armored car and tried to finish off here. I think that would have been worth the risk here. Personally, I probably would have been wrong though. Sandbags up here, and now you can see this Mirasol is finally coming to the west side. I think you're overcommitted there, leaving the right flank exposed. Angreifen, of course, sensed this tactical development and is quickly dispatched forces there towards the east, forcing Mirasol now to respond to that Marxist maneuver there. Guards from there taking some losses here, down to just 3 men. Armored car in the center versus the contra in the center there. Machine wing up here. Grenadier with 4 kills, veterans 1. Tech on the way from Mirasol. Angreifen's brought to the 3 kills, also veterans 1. Contra taking a hit, nasty hit here. Assault gun fixed up. West side here, gun is pushing for the western fuel point. Still might want to cut to that wire because obviously risks that once it then retreats, they're going to have to like retreat this way. That could definitely allow Angreifen a better chance of murder troops. That's also another reason he wired off here because again, sure you can vault, but the troops are not going to vault on retreat. So that's a bit of a sneaky one there. A little sneaky. Max machine here for Angreifen. Then we get to the conscious there, and the center gap being used before to get to the gun DC. Field and firing away there. Can't not field with the Edition 6. I'm also used to the certain field guns and not Edition 6M, so I just naturally assumed it was a field gun. Silly me. So there you go, max amount here for Angreifen. Going for that western fuel point. Very good, but again, need to be mindful of the retreat path. There you go, retreats, and you can see there, much longer retreat path. In this case, though, fortunately for Mirasol, Angreifen force does not have any forces in the vicinity that could actually like punish this longer retreat path. But if there had been, I imagine Mirasol would have been feeling a lot of sadness there. Or at least the Grenadiers would have. So Pomacop, they will have to see who goes for. I'd imagine a Panther 4 or a Stug 3G to counter the Edition 6. He could of course also go for a command tank here, but I think he needs first something to, more decisively deal with this assault gun before committing to the command tank. Otherwise, the Edition 6 is going to deal with that command tank, I think, in pretty short order. Yep, the armored car on the east side with the Pack 40 there. Surprisingly, he's using the Pack 40 for this, not any troops. I imagine you want to keep the Pack 40 around the center as sort of a reserve element that can actually react to the assault gun. Or any armor Angreifen might get. We do have the Mechanized Armor Company there rushing out, so you can start upgrading its conscripts there with the 7-man upgrade, which obviously makes a lot of sense. Machine that ready here. So then from net here by MG42 fire there from both the Grenadiers and the MG42 team. Routing the front of X there. And we got a 4th Grenadier squad for Mirasol at this point. Would have liked to see some Panzer Grenadier. But Grenadiers are popular for a reason. Not the uniforms though. Good lord. Looking forward to Campaign 3 just because the Grenadier uniforms will actually A, be historically accurate, and B, not look like, a painter's accident at a t-shirt store. Panther 4 halfway done. Field gun moving forward here. There's a response to the advancing conscripts. Ooh, really big mistake bunching up. There we go. Lucky for him though, Midas. Oh no, mate! The luck came through. Then the pack got wiped by the Edition 6 and Mortified close to wrapping up one of the Grenadier squads. Might even still lose the pack 40. He's trying to cut the retreat here. But it may not work. There we go. The pack got wiped again. Angreifen mercilessly punishing a Mirasol there. And we're going to see the Grenadier squad wiped out here. The losses are piling up here for Mirasol. That one mistake here, that one moment of weakness, of laxity, has definitely spawned a lifetime of Marxism. Possibly here. Armored car pushed back in the center. Pioneers rushing forwards. Panther 4 dashing forward for Deutschland here. Machine gun recruit. He also lost the machine gun too. Oh no, didn't. It's just, for some reason, my brain read it like that. That was silly. But anyways, need to grab that Pack 40 schnell before Angreifen either seizes it or destroys it. Either which would definitely be a problem there for Mirasol and the 16th Panzer Division. In this case, we're seeing support here from a nearby 7th Panzer Division, dispatching a platoon of panzers by the looks of it to support the 16th Panzer Grenadiers. Back at base here, nothing further transpiring there for Mirasol and the German army. But definitely suffered a bit there. Some nasty but well-executed losses there from Angreifen's side there. Assault gunners going to need some repairs. More grenadiers here for Mirasol. You got the grenadiers of the guardsmen there. Comes with the Panther in the center, damaging the Panther pretty rapidly. Got the assault gun rushing forwards. He's right here by the mighty Grenadiere. Let's think we'll head for Deutschland. Grab these in front with the conscripts. Field gun on the way there for Angreifen. This is 3 divisional field gun. Guess he's not going to ride fully on the assault gun here, or perhaps multiples. That'd been pretty neat to see. Here's the eastern side going for the conscripts here. Victory points wise, the Mirasol still remains, I think, in the next lead here at Angreifen in terms of victory points. But resource wise, things I think are definitely a bit more favoured in some regards for Angreifen. Mortars are going to deploy death from across the maps here, at the ends of the map respectively. Nice to see some mortar play overall. Like, I think a lot of players, particularly for 1v1 matches, tend to get mortars, but they can be really good in the right hands. Remember to use the barrage ability consistently and the smoke force. Assault marching forwards here, half 8 to veteran 2. Oh, there's a gap here, actually, never mind. That's actually the bit of the problem there with trying to, like, you know, wire off across the edge of the map. You actually can't completely wire off there. There's always going to be a gap there because you can't completely close it off there. Unless there's, like, some natural feature that probes out that allows you to do it. That's a fun side note. Pack shoots there, misses the assault gun. Very fortunate there for Angreifen and the Red Army. Guards and Max in the center here. Up north here, tripping, forcing healing. West side, we got another move there from Mirasol to exploit their flank. And now the machine crew has been wiped here by Angreifen and the Red Army. Maxim pushing forward here. Pioneers can't recruit the Maxim without sacrificing themselves. And I mean, I guess it's the better alternative giving the opponent the Maxim machine. He actually retreats, does hand over the machine gun there. And of course, at that point, you have to question yourself. Would it have been worth the sacrifice to Pioneers to get the MG42 knight to the opponent? I think the answer to that would have been yes, personally. Because a 6-man sewed MG42 is bad news. And ultimately, I think, you know, much more expensive in the long run for them than just sacrificing the Pioneers, if I have to be perfectly honest. That's going to fill up another Panther 4 here. You could also go for the command tank. Going for the command tank now, I think, has some value here for Mirasol, since it's a good as influence bolt weapons, but also makes the surrounding units a bit tougher, can be used to deploy smoke, and has marked targets. So I think there's a lot of argument to go for a command tank, but going for another regular Panther 4 is also a pretty good pick, obviously. But again, I do think, you know, with the current situation, is a command tank would be a nice addition. Moving up the west side here, still need to clear up this barbed wire. Second Panther 4 there for Mirasol. It does also slightly beg the question whether the commander decides to guess the spotting scopes, which is obviously quite handy, but doesn't necessarily kill the enemy. There's Indonesia in the west, at least not directly. There's need to retreat before they get murdered. There you go. We got the third MG42 in action here for Mirasol. We got the assault coming up here close to vetted 2. Armored car getting hammered here by the S6M. Veteran 2 now, actually, which boosts its damage, accuracy, and overall makes it faster as well. Really good bit of veterans there for the assault gun. Is he burning the shed? We must burn the shed, comrades! It is a symbol of fascist oppression of the peoples! My grandfather built that shed! Well, he was a fascist, clearly! He lived in that shed. He couldn't afford anything else. Clearly he was hiding his wealth. And it's going to be at the center here for Mirasol, pressuring there. Panther on the west side there for Mirasol. Looks like it's going to finally try and crush that barbed wire. Nothing yet here from Angreifen in terms of armor. Of course, he has the mighty S6M to hold him, keep it going for that until then. Panther on the left side here. Other Panther, of course, need repairs now. Heavily damaged from both the field gun and the S6M here. Does blitzkrieg away there just to be sure. Can of course then use the vehicle critical repair ability there to repair up faster. If you actually use it, then it's about to get wiped out here. Some pretty brutal engagements here. Building collapsed. Does get the machine gun cleared out there. And it was the MG42 at that, so that does remove a particularly pertinent problem here for Mirasol. And relatively fast, actually, before it became an even bigger issue eventually. Looks like the old managed to clear his opponent's mortar. Very good as well. His own mortar is near Vetsy 2 with 8 kills. West side Hikon is moving in. Armored car there, being hammered here and knocked out by a trinity of death here from the mortar, the field munition 6. The mortar got wiped again here by Mirasol's mortar. Pack 40 munition 6M here. Panther 4 could try and go for it actually with the blitzkrieg maneuver here. Bit risky, but you know, no guts, no glory. Panther 4 falling back, got the other Panther 4 flanking. There we go. Could take out here Angreifen 6M. Yeah, I think there's a good chance unless he gets very lucky. He did not. The assault gun is completely combusto. Yuri jumps 5 meters into the air there. Dead, of course, before falling back into the burning assault gun. Well, we hope he was dead anyways. That's a pretty horrible way to go. Panther 4, there was the assault gun, the direct hit here. Kind of trying to clear it out here. Bit aggressive, but obviously again could also deliver a significant blow there. So Angreifen does pull it off. He will take a lot of damage in the process. Panther 4, they gain Vetsy 2 there. The problem is, of course, the cis-man with the 6-man crew is much harder to clear out there, which is one of its major advantages. In this case, he does clear it out, but it did come at the cost of the loss of a Panther 4. He does destroy it, so assault gun plus a field gun at the cost of 1 Panther 4, and again the other Panther 4 that chooses like, get out, not bad. Obviously, the Wehrmacht, you're typically not looking to make those kind of trades, but, you know, overall, not shabby. That said, there's a T-35 out in the field here. His pack is wiped out. And the T-35 is, you know, pretty good. It can even, like, fairly well tackle a Vetsy 2 Panther for that. So, while it is nice versus the T-35, it's perhaps not as nice as it could be. He's going to need more T-35 to his Angreifen. There you go. Great hit, almost wiping out there. Mirasol's going to de-escort. Entirely we got the pack being crewed here with the T-35 could perhaps cleared out with a single well-placed shot. And he wipes the Grenadier, crewing the Pack 40 here. And I think there's a good chance he actually wipes the pack crew as well here. Yup, there we go. Because the pack crew is not 6-man. Now we got the Panther 4 with a single T-35 here. Mirasol is, shall I say, getting a bit punished there for that extended push here and losing that Panther 4. As now it's just down to the single Panther 4 here. Versus the T-35 gun is rushing in again. Need to retreat now. Retreat on time. Otherwise, we're going to lose more grenadiers. Definitely not something important. There we go. We do get the Stup 3G here for Mirasol. But the pack crew is wiped again. The mortar is wiped. The losses being inflicted on Mirasol are incredible. The Panther 4, though, is doing what he can here versus Angreifen. But he forces his men onwards here for the glory of Commander Stalin and secures the mortar for a total of 2 mortars here versus Mirasol. Situation here for the German army certainly just got a lot worse. A lot worse. He's done just 3 Grenadiers, 1 Pioneer Squad, the Panther 4, which is Vetsy 2 and can then move towards Vetsy 3 with a Stup soon on the way there. But crucially, Angreifen has 4 squads of infantry, 1 machine gun, 2 mortars now, and the T-35. This is going to be a bit of a tall order here for Mirasol to claw his way back from. Not impossible, but requires some impeccable tactics and operational skills here to take down Angreifen and turn the tide around again here. That's at least for now. He does have the armor advantage. And crucially, Angreifen does not have a lot like anti-tank weapons besides, you know, the T-35's 85mm gun and a bunch of anti-tank rifles. So there's certainly a chance that this Panther 4 can take out the T-35 before Angreifen then bring in more armor, in which case, of course, Mirasol can then turn the tide here against Angreifen once more. Moving ahead with the Panther 4 the Stup. Clearly hesitant. He's definitely concerned, I think, about the possibility of, you know, a field gun appearing as something else's port here. So he's definitely not diving in because of that, which I can't fault him for, but part of me definitely would have tried, personally. But anyways, we got the servo mortars there in action for the Red Army. You can see the Mirasol's making a push for the car point here, back covered by the Stup here, but of course, plenty of servo infantry in there. Lacking mortar, can't bombard here. T-35 looking to crash some terrain here, perhaps open up a path there. Need to grab the center, moving up the west side. Retreating the pioneers. And we got more grenades from Mirasol, no additional machine guns or anything else. Nope, cancelled for machine gun. I mean, that works. Comes from the west side here, Angreifen once more on the offensive here for the Red Army. Got the Maximus they're going to use here. Heavy fire being deployed there. Panther lands a nice hit. But yeah, the reason I think he's trying here is just trying to open up a path here so troops can move back and forth here between the front line and space more easily. But I guess at this point I realised that was not going to work out for him. He could also just use a demo charge to just, clear that path. That is what he wants to do. Obviously not something most players ever do, actually like use those high explosives for the actual intended purpose, which is to clear additional paths. I still remember the one time I did do it in Companies 1 with the Goliath. That was fun. Opponent didn't see it coming at all. But that's another story. H5 there on the way for Angreifen response here to the Stuk and the Panther Force. We can see another Stuk here from Mirasol. Thumbs up. Good hit there. Panther dying forts again here. Close to the ace level. Marked vehicle here on the Panther Force. They're good. Second Stuk on the stun. Mortars in trouble. There you go. White one. If we can get both mortars, that would be helpful there for Mirasol. Less helpful for Angreifen. Finish can't grab it, and I certainly would not recommend sacrificing an ace grenadier squad for a mortar. Second Stuk ready, at which point Mirasol is definitely, I think, ready to tackle, like, both the T-35 and the H5 unless in this place. And that said, he definitely needs something more to help deal with the infantry here. Now, a command tank and a still feel would be a great addition. Some Panzer Grenadier could also be a solid addition here for Mirasol versus Angreifen. There you go. H5 moving forward against the Panther 4 here, close to the ace level. H5 moving forward. So Stuk try and go for it here. They've caused new mark for the conscripts and the guard squad there as they can spot down the Stuks. There we go, making it easier for the H5 to take care of them at range. But there you go. Gets a wipe here, and Angreifen finally takes out one of his conscripts. Actually, got 40 kills in that Panther 4. Definitely doing its part here for Deutschland. H5 they're pursuing again the crippled Stuk here. Backer troops heading out there from the base of Mirasol. Try and move. There goes into the Stuks here. Almost got the H5 here, but no, it looks like it does no scope. There you go. We got the T-35 moving in there. He's going to lose that Stuk, even if not to the T-35. The Guardsman could finish them off here. Panther Force doing what he can here. Stuk losing its main gun. Other Stuk getting better to want to heavily damaged to put both back for repairs. And he needs more pioneers now. Comes to there being absolutely moldy, ruthless battle here for survival. Panther now takes another nice hit. Need to put back those Stuks fully into the base, and he needs more pioneers still. About to lose his near ace Panther 4. That would be a huge blow there to Mirasol to lose that. He absolutely needs that T3 for its increased rate of fire and mobility so he can start delivering some more intense blows there to Angreifen. He needs to start fixing. He's using the self-repair ability to expedite the repairs. Thumbs up there to see that he's very smart there. Like, the faster he can get all of his armor back in action, the better for Mirasol. It's probably one of the primary reasons why a lot of players actually go for this commander is because it has that ability. Like, again, it's also the reason why Guard Motor is so popular. Again, it has that ability. Like, having your tanks be able to repair themselves is incredibly powerful. So yeah, almost got all his armor fixed up. Then a very short amount of time, he can just quickly push back into the fight here with Angreifen, who of course can use the ability himself, but he's got one unit, so he's clearly not too keen on relying on that. More flares there from Angreifen's mortar. We got an Ostwind here from Mirasol. That one I actually find a bit odd. Like, the command tank costs slightly more, but offers, I think, overall a lot more utility. I mean, I don't think he needs to worry that much about Markula in the current circumstance. Again, I think the priority again would just be making all his stuff harder to kill, because it's going to mean like his, Panther Force would take 5 hits to kill, for example, and the Stuk's about 4 hits to kill. Well, still 4, maybe 5 actually, but I'll wait. Takes a few more hits to kill as well. But also just gives him some better anti-infantry and utility in general. Like, you can deploy smoke with the command tank. So the choice of the Ostwind here definitely strikes me as odd, to put it gently. Strikes me as very odd, and definitely not something I'd recommend when, again, you get a commander with the command tank. Like, unless your opponent is like actually using like, you know, a lot of air abilities very consistently, they can actually apply more direct harm to you. I would not advise an Ostwind or a command tank here. We got the Ostwind. It's not like the Ostwind is bad. Again, crucially, I'm noting it's not bad at all, but it's just the command tank, I think, for the current sort of situation is much better. As for Angreifen, he definitely wants more armor, more pressure on the flanks, and I imagine he should also want to get that mortar back in action here. Yeah, ace level Panther 4 backed up by 2 Stooks, both veterans, one with access to the heat shell. Could lead to a very powerful attack here versus Angreifen. Also, I don't think Angreifen's been mining at all. Got a field gun out there for Angreifen in the dead army. Lining up for a defense around the center. Panther 4 fixed up. Stoog, Ostwind are slowly positioning up there. Looks like it's going to try and make a broad push across the center here. Yep. That said, yeah, he's sort of slowing down there. Should at least load up a heat shell though, pushing with the Stooks. Typically that's how I prefer using the heat shell. Is like, you know, if I'm attacking, I load up the heat shell so that way I can negate the amount of firepower the defenders can return with. Like, that's how I think heat shells currently work the best. So instead he doesn't do that. In fact, he now gets the Ostwind there lined out there. Easy target, no infantry support here, mortar support non-existent, no smoke because again didn't have the command tank either. So the Ostwind goes down pretty quickly and the rest of the armor is forced back here. Overall, it's just, I think, an awkwardly actual attack here by Mirasol, which Angreifen could fairly easily deflect here without exerting himself too much. About to lose a Stook here, I think. He's unlucky. Yup. Definitely a poorly executed attack here by Mirasol. He does wipe out the mortar there again, but obviously can't follow up on it, so ultimately it doesn't really matter too much here, particularly when he does, you know, lost a Stoog and an Ostwind. I mean, that was a pretty much terrible attack there. In fact, losing an assault gun and an Ostwind for like no real gains is terrible. Like, the only way this could have been worse if he actually lost the Ace Panzer 4. So yeah. You see them behind here with the field gun? Blasting away there for the glory of Communist Stalin, smashing fascists from afar. Stoog being self-repaired, Panther 4 there, being repaired. He's also researched tier 4. I mean, I think the question, of course, is like, can you afford to like save up the resource, you know, spend the time not doing anything while saving up for tier 4? And my answer would certainly be no. But I could be proven wrong here, easily. Easily proven wrong, but will I? And of course, the question is, will he himself find the time to like build the heavy panzer corps and do all everything else, because he's like being forced to overwork his pioneers pretty aggressively, just repairing stuff at the moment. And he's just being pressured hard by Angreifen as well. And certainly losing the Stoog and an Ostwind only makes stalling for tier 4, if that is intended here now, much, much harder. Like when you had the Stoog, second Stoog and the Ostwind there alongside the Panther and the other Stoog there, he could probably have made it work somewhat, but with the loss he suffered there, I'd definitely say tier 4 is a bit of a dream. Yeah, at this point he's also, I think, just stopping up in front of all the SOD anti-tank weapons, allowing them to like snipe his stuff here, which is obviously not great for Mirasol. Like, he needs to, you know, either bypass them or suppress them with smoke here. And so far he's just not really doing any of those two. I mean, tactically he's sort of just kind of dropped the ball a tiny bit here versus Angreifen, whereas again he's just parking everything like right in front of the Soviet guns, which is typically not what you want to be doing. Like, if your strategy involves parking your stuff in front of like any enemy guns, in particular anti-tank guns, you might want to revise that battle plan. And so far, Mirasol is not doing that. So that's a bit concerning from his perspective. From Angreifen's perspective, of course, he just keeps attacking into that, you know, absolute gravy. That's amazing. Like, any opponent just feeds the tanks into your guns is, of course, a welcome opponent. What's worth knowing, the H5 is ace level, giving a good rate of fire alongside good penetration. It can definitely take on a lot of German armor. Panther 4 then near fixed up. Got 50 kills now, and there's a real hero of the Reich there. Iron Cross first class. You know the drill here. We got West Side Guns from 40 MB42, then leashing into off the ground, and the Soviet infantry with Eastern Western victory point. He's finally starting to apply a bit more pressure on the left flank again here, but I think the issue is just doing it in such a slow manner that it becomes easy for Angreifen to bring in forces to block this assault, which is definitely something you want to be careful of. Plus, it also means there's more time for Angreifen's mortars, like, you know, zero in on Mirasol's force. There you go. Good at the machine gun constant flank in here. Nice counterattack here by Angreifen. Gets Mirasol. That guns being hammered here. Got the guard squad there. Ace level 20 kills here. Tearing into Angreifen's forces. Pack about to get wiped out here. A huge kill. We do get the Ace Panther arriving here, but it's not fast enough to aid the pack crew. Then the Gunners almost get weapons on the process. Got 52 kills in that Panther on the center. Gunners squad of Pioneers actually right here with the Maxim. The situation for Mirasol is getting more and more dire by the moment. He's bringing out another pack 40 here. Is it going to destroy it? Or is it going to allow Angreifen to get it back? Or is it going to try and recover it? Or is Mirasol Angreifen going to destroy it instead? Looks like he is destroying it. Ace farm there. Ace moving in. T-45 there. 25 kills in the ace level. 55 kills on the Panther 4. Pack destroyed. Stu trying to join in there, but Sanders quite get the shot through. Good hit on the Panther 4, almost losing it. Looks like Mirasol is narrowly able to salvage the Panther 4. East side guns bring up there for Mirasol. Angreifen agrees to go for another T-45, of course, not coming Katyusha, though again, at this stage, I think rather than go for Katyusha, you just grab the second mortar. Troops enforcing here. Fresh push patch being lined up here by Angreifen. We got 291 on 86. Panther 4 back to being repaired. That's a really impressive Panther 4, honestly. Meanwhile, looks like Angreifen's trying to decipher where the next attack from Mirasol might land from, because at this point Mirasol has to attack. He's back against the wall and he's like has to attack into Angreifen's position. So again, his best chance is basically to surprise Angreifen and catch him from an angle he isn't expecting. But again, so far Mirasol's attacks have either not been surprising at all or been too slow to really like take advantage of any surprise element. Conquering 40. T-45 there, halfway done. Panther 4 more or less good to go again. Continue to go for another. Panther 4, of course, may want to go for more Stoops. We'll have to see. Inducing the gunners to start the building. Machine Head basically rendered neutral out of the fight, at least for a while, due to the smoke deployed there by Angreifen. Very well, and there you go. Panther 4 was knocked out again. Quickly forced to withdraw for repairs once more. Concord here, slowing down the assault here from Angreifen a tiny bit, but just Mirasol needs to like deliver more decisive blows here to Angreifen. He needs to land some serious wipes here and take out some either some armor or support weapons here. He needs to basically destabilize Angreifen for long enough to like make any serious gains. And currently, so far, he's just not quite achieving that. And there you go, lost another MG42 here. So right now the odds are getting only worse by the moment here for Mirasol. And he's not going for armor. Is he actually intending to go for something with the heavy Panzer Corps now? It's starting to look like that. Like he obviously needs to build it first. And then get something out of it. And he just taking heavy fuel for like anything out of it. The problem is more the manpower. It's a bit short on the manpower for that. So we got 226, he was on 86. Got the Gunners almost wiped out there. Panther 4 is good to go. Still there. Slowly, very slowly approaching Veteran 3 here. T-35s they're being repaired. H-5 they're creeping ahead here for the Red Army. Yep, that does look like a heavy Panzer Corps here from Mirasol. Double Stoops. Huh. Note I am frowning sort of like, you know, big time. Okay, cancel the heavy Panzer Corps. I was like just going for heavy Panzer Corps, going for 2 Stooks. That's like completely two different ends of the scale in the sense there's like just make up your mind. And the problem here, of course, is like, I think going for a lot of Dukes can definitely be helpful if used from the right angle and everything. But the problem is at this point, he's just choosing it, I think, too late. He should have these going much sooner then. And he's also going to need some infantry to like and help carrying his way through there as well. Also, like, needs to like find a good angle to attack from. Like, ideally, I think he should actually go up through here, the east side. Crucially, because his opponent has fewer eyes here, but there's also less terrain getting caught up most of the west side. There's a lot easier here to like to get bottled up and then dealt with by Angreifen. Whereas again, the east side I think could like pull off a fairly decent flank there. Either way though, this is going to I think be the either make it or break it moment here between Angreifen and Mirasol. If Mirasol can somehow push through here with a large number of assault guns, maybe he can turn the tide against Angreifen, but otherwise if he fails, he's dead. Like, he is completely toast. They almost got the third Stug ready here, which would put him at a very understrength platoon of Stugs. Oh, good hit on the Panther 4th Initiative 5 Ace. Quickly pulling back here. Charging him the Stugs there for Deutschland. Panther 4 there, drawing calls all the attention. Almost got on the T-Flaps on his ace level. No heat shield loaded up here. Lost his Stug. Panther 4 knocked out. Yeah, no heat shield here definitely means death. He got another Stug ring, but it's just too little too late. He does get the T-Flat 5 ace, but yeah, at this point it's game over. He lost here for Mirasol, a victory for Angreifen. He definitely, I think, had his moments there, Mirasol. At times I think he was close to like shutting out the match entirely, but he sort of kept making, I think, some questionable technical decisions, strategically and operationally. I think he also feels like, make the best use of the training, crucially denies opponent's resources. And at times he just, lacked the speed. But I think the crucial one was just like, he kind of like blew it with the two Panther 4s against the field gun. Should have flanked it for that matter. But also, like, when you make the other push through the center here, I think that also really just sat Mirasol of a lot of strength there. Like, when he lost that Stug and Ostwind in a pointless head-on assault, I think this was like one of those, pivotal moments where he just, like, pretty much shot himself in the foot. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. We'll talk tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.